All right, time check. It is 2 minutes past 7 o'clock. And up next is Mind Talk, a powerful and heartfelt conversation space that explores the emotional and mental well-being of everyday people. You be everyday person. Well, it's okay. You're welcome. The insights by the insightful psychologist, Dr. Olusegun Odufua, better known as Dr. Slicks. Let's join him now. You're welcome.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, Lagos. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us again here today. Welcome to Mind Talk, a safe space where your thoughts are heard, your emotions are validated, and your mind finds clarity. I'm your host once again, Olusegun Odufua. But on this journey, feel free to call me Dr. Slicks. And you're tuned in to Wash FM 94.9, your fun health radio. Whether you're weathering a silent storm, navigating personal struggles, or confronting the weight of a toxic relationship, Mind Talk is your lifeline to healing, hope, and emotional support. This is more than just a conversation. It's free therapy on the airwaves, where we dive deep into the issues that truly matter to you. So settle in, let's breathe, let's talk. This is Mind Talk. This evening I have Joseph Aloysia right here. Good evening, Joseph.
Good evening, Lagos. Good evening anywhere you are listening to us. Or if you have a different time zone, good afternoon, good morning, and or good day.
So how has the day been today?
See some traffic. It was okay. They say you should not be complaining of traffic again. We should just accommodate it as part of our traffic. And the day is good. It's good anytime, especially in Lagos. Lagosians should only appreciate because that when you have your life with you without running hater skater like other places, not that one is looking down on those places. We should continue to appreciate our security agency in Lagos. Though there's only room for improvement, but I'll continue to thank them and pray for them and encourage them so that they continue to do more. And because if you hear story from Benue and the rest of them, is they want to listen to it. Some people want to listen to radio, but it's difficult because of some issue. But we'll continue to thank Lagos government, thank Lagos Security Agency. We're only happy for more.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Lagos is an interesting city, and we'll continue to do everything within ourselves just to make sure that we thrive and stay strong no matter the circumstances. Okay, today we have an interesting topic that we'll be discussing, and we'll be having two people. One will be joining us from the US, and we have another guest of ours who is going to be sharing his thought on this interesting topic. The topic is sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. So let me just give a brief background on what sibling rivalry is. And so I will just hear your thought, Joseph, on this one quickly. So sibling rivalry is a remarkably common phenomenon in families that consist of more than one child. It is the occurrence of jealousy, competition, or animosity that can occur between siblings. While families may experience it in different levels, it is bound to show up at some time in some way, no matter your family status. Sibling rivalry doesn't have to be detrimental. In fact, it serves as a developmental purpose. Individuals who grow up with siblings have a rich opportunity, to learn about conflict resolution because it keeps happening. Once you have more than one child, there's always a bit of competition amongst the children, and some of them fighting to get the attention of their parents, whether the father or the mother. Some of the examples it presents itself with is, verbal or physical fighting, jealousy, name calling, teasing, sabotage, comparison, and competing for respect. So, Joseph, have you experienced this phenomenon called sibling rivalry before, or while you were growing up? How was it for you?
No, nobody can avoid it, but we only manage it, and that's where caregiver and parent need to find a way to actually manage manage it very, very well, because it must come. It's part of our day-to-day living. Just as you said, where there are more than one or two children, that challenge must come in must occur. But how do caregiver or parents manage it? And for me, I think I didn't know, though my grandfather was not a psychologist, but from what the way he handle our issue, because with those good old days, you have a very big family, so the grandchildren were always with her, and this is what he used to tell us, Dr. Shegu. He used to tell us that if you don't want your brother to be a king, it means say you don't want to be a brother to a king. Or if you don't want your sister to be a queen, it means that you don't want to be a sister to a queen. And by implication, it only encourages us that whatever you can do to assist your brother for him to succeed, whatever you can do to assist your sister for her to succeed, do everything possible to ensure that you make that contribution. I think that grow with me, and that is the reason for me is like it is even a privilege that maybe you assist someone, because the person with or without you, the person may still get a help from someone. So parents should be able to make sure that in growing up within the children, should only be there for your brother, be there for your sister, that the sources of your brother, your sister should equally, you look at this as your own sources. It is when you are trying to separate it, that way it become only you. It's only you. Currently I have two twins. One is a slow learner. The other one is that one before you, whether in eating or all those kind of things, before you say Jack Robinson, you have done what, and I have to find a way to even manage, because sometimes they want to, you look at it, you always everything you start. I say no, this is life. Everybody with his own pace. Life has his own pace. So it is not a deficiency, but that is just his makeup. So if I am not managing it, it can become a problem between the two children. So parents have it must occur, but how we now manage it can't.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Quickly, we'd like to have our guest join us. She's in the US. Coach Rashidat, good evening. Can you hear us loud and clear? Coach Rashidat. Coach Rashidat, can you hear us? Hello, Coach Rashidat. Okay, we'll quickly take a break, and I think it's just some technical issues, so we'll quickly take a break. Let's be right
She was outside. Should I waste my time and still find her? I can't wait to see that shit right now. We can take it back tonight. We don't have to ruin the vibe. I said like, I just wanna see in your mind. I mean, I just wanna see your brain instead. Like, we can tryna see it riptide. Go, we keep riding it. Like, we ain't got no time to be shy. Down in the free of fall. Too loud, cool, y'all too fine. You a good girl in the bed. Got two sides, not an option. Gotta choose right. And tonight I decided. Tonight I decided. Oh, I know that you like. Dang. Oh, you're pretty if you like. Man, yo, tell me what you like. Say what's on your mind. I need to know. Hold your inner fire. I'm at your flow. This drink remove my shy. I got to go. Put these ones in your behind. You work the pole. We can take it back tonight. We don't have to ruin the vibe. I said like, I just wanna see in your mind. I mean, I just wanna see your brain instead. Like, we can tryna see it riptide. Got on a wave, keep riding it. Like, we ain't got no time to be shy. Down in the free of fall. Too loud, cool, y'all too fine. You a good girl in the bed. Got two sides, not an option. option, gotta choose right. And tonight I decided. Back tonight, being outside, shouldn't be outside in line. Though you want to live a life with a vice in the 305. 42 Casamigos on ice in the city on fire. 2 a.m. you be on a different time, it's still not time. Too loud, cool, y'all too fine. You a good girl in the bed, got 2 sides, not an option, gotta choose right. And tonight I decided.
Wash 94.9 FM.
Stop. Oh, no.
James Bond.
Stop.
Oh my God.
They know they person. Now you go learn lesson. I don't look anybody gun. I defend for me. You see they do Ronaldo pass Messi. I know they also when they sign Messi gun. Since I've been Maria, who don't know go know. After one place not sleep.
Who don't know, go know. Don't believe everything they see. Yes, you see. Don't believe everything they see.
Your city's new heartbeat is Wash 94.9.
Yeah, welcome back. You're still tuned in to Mind Talk on Wash FM 94.9, your fun health radio. I have on the line a fantastic person, an amazing woman. She's a global force, an author, a visionary coach, financial innovator, and relationship strategist. She's a captivating global speaker and a TV personality on OTV. She's known for her electric presence, spiritual insight, and unmatched ability to elevate others into their next level. Her influence spans continents, and her message pierces the hearts of women ready to rewrite their story. I have on the line Coach Rashidat. Good evening.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
How you doing? You look so amazing.
I'm amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thank you for joining us. Tonight we're talking about sibling rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you can help us break this phenomenon and talk about it. Mind you, Coach Rashidat is a Nigerian, even though she lives in the U.S. She's a dual citizen, so she's an American citizen and also a Nigerian. So would you like to tell us your Nigerian experience, or you want to tell us your American experience on sibling rivalry?
Wow. I don't think I have a Nigerian experience, but I do have an experience of, being raised in the Nigerian home. Being the first child, there's a lot of weight that carries on the first child. So a lot of responsibility was given to me as a first child. And growing up in America, I did not understand the culture of Nigeria. You understand? So my parents were Nigerian. Me being the first child, certain things I couldn't do. And my younger ones didn't have that same issue. So I think at the age of 12, I began to resent my parents. I began to resent them because I didn't understand. I really thought, I told my dad, I said, I think I'm adopted. I think I'm adopted. I said, because, my friends are outside. I want to play with my friends, but you're having me, wake up in the morning, you help with your siblings, you help with cooking, you help with the house. It was a lot. So I told my dad, I said, I think I'm adopted. I don't think my mom is my mom. And it was only because I did not understand that they migrated from Nigeria to America. I didn't understand what it meant. And I had no idea that as a child, you're supposed to help your parents. I had no idea about that. But then when they now sent me to Nigeria at the age of 12, when they noticed that I began to really ask questions, I was really resenting them. When they sent me to Nigeria, that's when I now learned culture. That's when I now learned culture. And when I learned culture, I saw how, firstborns are responsible for paving the way, and I saw how the youngest child was privatized and catered to. So when I came back to America from Nigeria, I began to understand a little bit more. I was able to help them a little bit more. But growing up, I just noticed that what I went through, my other siblings didn't go through. In some way or fashion, at the time, I was not grateful. But being older now, I am grateful because there's certain things that I can do that my younger siblings have no interest in doing. And because of that, it affects them in certain ways. That's one. It's not that my parents favoritized me, but it was just the responsibility that was put on me that made me feel as if you like the other children more than me. I didn't understand what they were doing until I traveled to Nigeria to understand culture and understood the position of what a first child meant. So that's Nigeria, right? Now coming back, I'm growing up in America. My younger sisters don't want to hear that, because she's firstborn. So therefore, so to them it was like, all of us should have the same respect, all of us should have the same whatever. Because if anything should happen for me. So being that I've been to Nigeria and America, I understand her a little bit more because she will call me. But my siblings would be like, and mommy would say, and when they call mommy would say, go and talk to your sister. They don't want to hear that. They're like, no. You're our mom. And stuff like that. So I experienced it on that end. And then what I experienced having my own children, that's a whole other story.
So if I will ask, you faced that while you were growing up because you were the first child. But now being a mother, have you seen any sign of rivalry among your kids?
Yeah. I didn't cause it. I didn't cause it because I love my children the same. But within them, we only have one daughter. My first is a girl, and the other two are boys. Within them, I think as a child, my daughter did not really. She will always say she's a favorite. And you always have to correct her, like, what does that mean? All children are favorites. Don't say you are the favorite. And she says, and I have to put, so once I correct her in front of the board, they feel a little bit upset. But she said it so much that my second child began to feel a bit like there has to be a reason why she's saying
all of this.
There was a time that he wanted to, when he got older, he says, are we sure that he's a part of the family? Now, why would you ask that? It's because she gets everything she She's more independent. She knows what she wants. And she knows what she has to do to get. So she will give her father the good grade and say, Daddy, I want an iPhone this. And African fathers are suckers for their daughters giving them good grades.
Yeah, sure.
So they feel like whatever she wants to do, so he will always give her what she wants. On the other end, the other child, who is my second child, he will not say anything. He's very quiet, so we're just looking, oh, you're so quiet, you're so amazing, you're this, you're that. But he wasn't asking for anything. Doesn't mean he wasn't getting it, but he wasn't asking. So he didn't understand that because he wasn't asking, majority of the things he would get, but it may not be necessarily what he did. But he would get something. But he never really asked. So we now ask him, why don't you ever ask him? And he said, I didn't want to bother him. What makes you say you're bothering? So growing up with such a sister who was so very hot, he lowered his own asking and performance and all of that. But did we treat them differently? No. But if you ask them,
their perception is that you treat them differently.
Because when he grew up, he says, him being the middle child, you always do him different. I'm like, no. We just gave him what he wanted. Because it's to my first daughter, my daughter, she can do the kitchen with me, I'm doing the living room with me. My son wants to do it with me. If I never ask you to come out of the room and sit down with me in the living room, you get upset, you begin to sleep. So you have nothing fun. So in your mind, what his older sister has been saying for such a long time, has already done something to them. But do we treat things differently? No. But what I wish I would have done differently at that time is to bring the both of them and really sit them down and let them know who they are and how we look at them and stuff. Instead of me allowing one to just, I didn't know what was going on with his mind.
Yes.
You always thought he just was quiet. And what that does is that it causes a child to have low self-esteem. It causes a child to have deep emotional scar. Even though that's not what we as parents, you understand?
Yes.
But the thing is, this is our first time being a parent. You just thought one is extremely, and the other one, this own temperament is more peaceful and calm. Whereas the baby is a baby, he doesn't care, he's free, he wants something.
He just speaks up.
He's just doing his own thing, so different characters, different personalities, and like I said, if I was to go back, I would try to, that one that is in the middle, that feel as if he's not seen, I would have did more with him. Just for him to understand that, rather than just leave him and say, oh, it's fine. That's not the best now. But in the midst of them, they're always...
Yeah. That's a fantastic one. Thank you so much. But let's quickly listen to one of our guests. Is a Reverend Sign Alexander Otove. He's an evangelist from Delta State, and he wants to just share what exactly happened in his family, and just for everybody to listen. And I'm sure you will have one or two things to say after listening to his story. Reverend, are you on the line? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. How are you guys doing?
We're very fine. We're very well. Please, can you just speak up a little bit more?
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening. How's the day been today?
Today has been a wonderful day, and you?
We bless God. It's been a cool weather, and I think we are loving it. Lagos is cool and calm as ever.
Okay.
So, Reverend, we're talking about sibling rivalry. Would you like to share your thoughts about what exactly happened in your family? Where did the rivalry start from? How did it happen? And where are you guys today?
Okay. Thank you very much, and I want to appreciate you guys for coming up with such an interesting subject as sibling rivalry. Now, the truth is that sibling rivalry is as old as the first sin that is committed outside the Garden of Eden. The brutality of it is what you can witness in the death of Abel. Cain killed Abel. That is a senior brother killing a junior brother when he ought to have protected his junior brother. That's how deadly sibling rivalry is. Now, for myself, I was born into a family of 8 siblings. My mom had 8 of us, and she got married to her first husband, and the husband passed away before she married my father, pardon me. Now, when he married my father, she already had kids for this other man. Now, she actually had 5 kids for the other man, but everybody thought it was 4 children that she had for the first husband. Why in reality it was 5. Now, why do I say there are 5? The person who is now acting as my father's firstborn is actually the 5th son of my mother's first husband. I happen to be my father's biological firstborn. And this is where the tragedy is so much. So my mother had 3 children for my father, but it is assumed that she has 4 children for my father. And that is not true. Now, because she brought my senior brother when she was 3 months pregnant, she came with a pregnancy. My dad was not privileged to know it until she delivered the child. They started the relationship, and in 6 months' time, she delivered. Definitely, if you are not a fool, you understand that there's no way a woman can be pregnant in 6 months. And
but that could be a miracle, baby.
No, nobody will say I got a miracle. so that was a deep secret that my mother kept. My mother didn't want it to be known. Now, because she was ashamed. Why? Because her former husband, before she died, she informed his people that her husband and his wife was already pregnant with a child for him. So when they learned that she gave birth in less than a month, it is an issue of weeks. They visited my dad and my mom. So that was a standard issue. Now, because my dad agreed to cover up the issue, this young man who is my immediate senior brother has started answering my father's name. Now, fortunately, all of them, all the sons he had for this our first husband, all of them answered my father's name. Now, so I'm number 5 in my mother's children, and I'm number 1 in my father's children. But unfortunately, I'm number 6, pardon me. The number 5 is playing the firstborn role of my biological father, because he goes around answering my father's name. Now, the problem started from birth. Now, as I was growing up in the house, my mom had 8 children. My brother, out of those 8 children, none of them were educated. I'm the only educated person. I have a master's degree. So growing up in that family, everywhere we moved into, I was very distinct. There was nothing inside of me that wouldn't make you believe that these are my siblings. So distinct that in terms of character, appearance, relationship, choice of friends, and the way of life, I was completely different from them. So, the moment you are different than that, you stand out as a star. So it becomes a problem. Now, I also had a mother who was trying to preserve her children. She had all her first children on one side. My mother unfortunately does it. She is not just economical with the truth, she hates the truth. And here was I was born into a home, and I was my father's first son. So there are a lot of things that go wrong in that home because of character. When you have siblings that have funny characters, some of them are thieves, some of them are they are into womanizing, prostitution. That was the kind of home we were into, drinking and others. None of these characters you can find in me. So I was the light. So whatever goes wrong in the family, when my dad comes back, my mom does not relay the truth to him. So he will always depend on me to relate because I was an home boy. I don't go out. I stay at home apart from going to school. I'm all the time at home, very good with house chores and every other thing. You can actually depend on me right from primary 2. You can depend on me as a child. And I was my dad's love, and my dad was my best friend. So that distinction was there. All the other children were with my mom because she could cover up their lapses. I was like standing aside. So you know what it means for you to have 8, for you to be 8 as siblings, and then you are standing alone. The 7 are on the other side. You know that's a real battle.
Yes.
Now, is it in terms of the junior ones who were going to school? When they come back from school, I still remember a scenario when my sister went to school. She actually failed. She went back and changed the result. My dad is an illiterate. So when she came with her result, I have not returned from school, my dad now told her to wait. That Alexander will be coming. So wait, when he comes, he will check the result. When I checked the result, I discovered that she changed the position. You know, in those days when they use
report card.
So she changed the position. But because she's not intelligent alone, she couldn't change the grade. So when I saw the grade and I saw her percentage, I told my dad that this girl did not pass. She cancelled the weak pass. So I told my dad, I said, this is weak pass. And I did the calculation, came out to the exact position, percentage. My brother, hair went loose. From that moment, they don't like me. It's like they are living in darkness. When I come, I share light on it. So that was the way I grew up. Now, when we became adult, I gave my life to Christ at the age of 19. I had to fall back. Now let me show love to them. But the truth of the matter is that none of them were willing to accept me. They still saw me from that perspective as the enemy of their life, the most favored child of my father, and the one that was always against a man. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, I do.
So unfortunately, my dad died first. So there was a day we had a meeting and they had to open up to me. That was the day I realized that I was this child, this thing that started from childhood was still ongoing, even when we have, all of us are married, they have children. They told me to my face, they said, do you remember when we were growing up that this family was divided? All of us, 7, we were with Mama. You are the only one who was with Papa. You see, right now, Papa has died, so you are standing alone. So be very careful. We have not forgotten you. My brother, that was the day, it was like a scale fell from my eyes. So I thought I was dealing with my siblings. I didn't know that I was dealing with my enemies. It was a big revelation. Now, so that was when I realized that there are issues. So, and I'm talking to you right now. All of us, and we still have, we have 3 that is left out of the 8 of them. You know, we have 4 out of the 8 children that my mom has. 4 are late. Unfortunately, the 2 that are behind me are dead. So I'm the only child of my dad that is remaining, and we still have 3 from our first husband. And I'm talking to you that none of them are related with me, and I'm not bothered. I'm not related with them because there is no way, there's no headway. And because the reason is because they are pushing their senior brother, their junior brother, as my father's first son. And I've told him to his face, you are not my father's first son. It's time for you to back off. That is the crisis we are facing right now. He's not ready to lay claim to his father's inheritance, rather he's ready to struggle with my father's inheritance, and all his siblings are backing him. They know that he's their father's son, but they are just imposing him in my family. So that is how bad sibling rivalries can go through. There's no time for me to tell you the emotional and psychological trauma that I went through the hands of these people. It's denial, hatred, some of them outward display. And there is nothing you will do for them that that will appreciate. They will appreciate because they feel you are a threat. Now, for every father that is growing and every mother, this is what I will advise. If you have a son in the family and that son is very bright, you see, the problem is that potential don't hide. I hope you know that. Potentials are very difficult to hide because they manifest. So if you have a child that is very bright and have a bright future, I think you as a parent, you don't need to expose that child to sibling by comparing them. That's one of the greatest problems that parents have. Don't compare any of your children. They are all unique children. There's no comparison. Every child is born with their unique potentials. When you begin to compare Mr. A with Mr. B's potential, then you are creating bad blood. And the sibling rivalry that I suffered for was the handiwork of my biological mother. It's not a stepmother, my biological mother, who felt. I'm going to stop there for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend. That's quite a
very revealing one.
Very, very pathetic story. So just hold. At this point, I think we just need to quickly take a short break. We'll be right back. Just hold on the line. We'll get back to you and to just talk about this story. Thank you.
The road is long, with a many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he would not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm a lady at all, I'm a lady with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. On the way to there, wine's not shared. And the love doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy,
Yeah, you're back to Mind Talk. You're still on to Mind Talk on Wash FM 94.9, your fun health radio. And we had Reverend Alexander Sign on the line, and he's been sharing his thought about sibling rivalry, how it started all from childhood, having his step brother claim to be his real brother, and he ought to be the first son, but having somebody claim that position, saying that he is the first son of his family, and having to, be in the midst of a ratio of 7-1. 7 for the stepmother, and him being the only man standing, and that's why he calls himself the light, in the midst of darkness. And he gravitated from the childhood down to adulthood. Even now that the father is late, the mother is late, the rivalry is still there, and the bitterness. And even up to now, that imagine his younger siblings telling him that your backbone is gone, and we want to see how you will be able to survive now. So, Reverend, just in few minutes, just about 2 minutes, can you just tell us, okay, what is the situation now? We know the animosity that has happened over the years. What is the present situation now? Your father's properties, all his belongings, how have you been able to share it equally? Or does your father, did he have a will before he died? How has it been, and what's the present situation now? I'm sure you have your own family now.
Yeah, I do.
So how is your own children? How are your kids relating with your with their uncles, with their aunties, with their other cousins? How what's the relationship like?
Now, let me say this first. Now, the unfortunate thing for me is that my dad is not a rich man. I came from a very humble background.
Yes, you mentioned.
So there was really nothing to struggle over the inheritance.
Even his all his native clothes, all his
farm,
the farmland.
Yeah, when he died, nobody was interested in that. Nobody was interested in that. So I so we had to back then. But let me say something that played out. Now, when my dad died in 2000, every one of them, they played a cool shoulder. Nobody was ready to come out. Even the one who claimed to be my father's senior son, the moment my father died, he withdrew. He said I should stay ahead since I'm a pastor and my dad goes to church. Then I already know that this is another politics. And they know that it is not their father, it's my father. So I actually stood, got my father buried. Now, the worst thing that have happened in the family is that it is my mother that has suffered the brunt of the seed of sibling rivalry that she sowed in the family, separated me, from them, so that they saw me as an enemy. And I'm talking to you that my mother died in November 2017. She's still in the mortuary, nobody to bury her.
Why?
I told them that they can't bury their mother until the issue of my firstborn, the issue of the firstborn has to be resolved.
But this is 8 years going.
Yeah, I told them, if you don't settle the issue, I will not come for my mother's burial. You cannot bury my mother with my family. You can't bury our mother with your family. Because nobody knows that family. My father did that is famous. I told them, if you die, as long as you will die, the jailor will come from a straight place and kill all of you.
Wow.
Because who is standing in that position, who is acting as my father's son, is their brother. They know that is their brother. Is their father's last son, last child. So why are you imposing me in my position? They didn't know. They thought my father died without telling me. They thought my father died. I kept me because
So the mother is not living in the house.
to me that because they know that if I stand, they will bury my mother. They say I should come that mama died. I say, which mama? I say, it's your mother. Because my mother told them that I'm not her son because I'm a pastor. She rejected me. She can never have a child that is a pastor. But if that is the case, you people were alive when your mother was putting her hands in her back and not me. So when am I going to marry a woman who was telling everybody that I'm not her son? And number two, they say it's issue. Now you guys are aware, if I'm not aware, I say, you don't know that. It's not my father's son. I am my father's son. So if Mama is going to be buried, I must assume the position of my father's son. Only you can bury her with my father's name. Otherwise, you are free. Go and bury your mother with your father's name. I'm not coming.
Reverend, this is a very tough one. But at this point, we would like our listeners to please join this conversation. So you can call the studio line 090-609-92609. I take it again, 090-609-92609. And you can also call 070-4100-7949. 070-4100-7949. We'll be glad to receive your call and join this conversation. So, Reverend, just hold your thought there. Coach Rashidat. Coach Rashidat, can you hear me? You heard the story of okay, yeah. Please, we have a call now. Let's just quickly pick this call. Hello, caller.
All right, I'm on to the radio station.
Yes, good evening. Please.
All right, good evening. My name is Olaniwaju. I'm calling from Oyo State.
Thank you.
I'm actually driving in a very safe place, and I overheard the discussion from the Reverend. It is so pathetic. But what I would just want to say, because of the network, I couldn't just seem to get everything 100%. But for the little one that I gather in the course of my listening to the man of God, please, he should embrace forgiveness, should give him for peace. Whatever it is that has gone wrong in the past, he needs to really maturely do that right now that he's born again. Because if you were to handle same issue among the church members and somebody brings such a thing to him, how will he handle that? So it is now, the board is now in his call to see how to solve the problem. When he has gotten the battle of leadership, it doesn't matter his stage. He's able to even be the brother of his brothers, so to speak. So my advice is to embrace love, to extend love to them and see that things are, well resolved. It is so pathetic. I'm so touched by that anyway. That's why this is the first time anyway. But I need to really advise him to forgive. That's just the key word. Thank you.
Thank you, Olaniwaju. Thank you. So, Coach Rashidat, you wanted to say something? Because I could see your reaction.
What I do, I'm still shocked. I'm still very shocked. And I'm not surprised because siblings died, they can become very toxic. See, what people don't understand is putting down the burden is normal to an extent, like normal to an extent. But once you become favoritism, what the pastor does explain that something that turned from competition into resentment, into bitterness, into division. And this is where brothers and sisters stop seeing each other as family, and they begin to start viewing each other as rivals. Oh, no, this is not really happening. It's not, it's just fun. I am the J.
And now it has led to having the Mothers Corps in the mortuary for 8 good years since 2017.
Everybody's going to die. It's like, I'll be making pastor, please don't even matter. Because I'm working body. Okay, this is something of investment. When you have children, or you don't have children, somebody will blame you. Somebody will blame you. So they're not going out there,
Now, my worry, Reverend, is that
only advice to mothers, because if you hear the tone of his voice is a lot about it. You understand? She's the one that said, my son can be possible. Hello there.
Yeah.
Mr. Asheri.
Yeah, I'm here.
It is more like the thing came to the mother. The mother saying that last man has fallen and the pump stop. Now, once we need to look and say, yeah, because we are attached to the mistake of a mother is just to stop putting everything on ground. You are mainly that English is extremely famous. We stayed in the 9 years that our auntie and her husband were together. They had 3 children. But my auntie didn't really have 4. So she was telling my mom that she wants to have a more child. My mother told her, go back to where you were and not the same child. We now have children all around the place because of situation. You understand? Remember, we need to be better. Mother, we need to be better. She's done now. You can work. But you can work on time.
So Reverend, because we are almost running out of time, I would just like to say something now, because something that started from your own generation while you were a child. Now you are grown, you have your own family. Now it's also going to transcend into that next generation, because up to now you are still having issues with your sibling. Now your own children will now inherit that same rivalry with their cousins, and are they going to also pass? Because if for 8 years you've not been able to bury your mother, only God knows how long it will take again. Maybe another 1 year or 2 years before you resolve. Now that's 10 years. Now, even your child, I don't know how old are your kids, would, a problem that started before they were born, they are now present, and they still see that problem is still existing. It now continues to pass from one generation to another generation. Pastor, Reverend Alexander, what can we do to resolve this? Because now Olaniwaju mentioned you are now a man of God, and if one of your congregation brought this story or this issue right in front of you, I'm sure you would have a lot to say in preaching the word and trying to manage. I know the contention here. You want to take what is yours, which is the right of your first child. We know how important it is, and it's a very sensitive matter. But I think if a family discussion, put everybody on a round table, have a discussion, pray about it, I'm sure something can be done to resolve this, so that your beloved mother can also go and rest in perfect peace.
My brother, you know the amazing thing is that, we live in a society where bunch of marriage in Nigeria. I happen to be the last child right now. You know what that is? I'm the first child of my father, but my mother's the last child. I have 3 elderly ones. They are ahead. They're the ones I'm having the issue with now. The one who is not acting like my father's first son, he has the backing of the remaining 2. So how do you resolve such an issue? First of all, they are not ready to hold on to the truth, which they are fully aware of. For whatever reason they've known to them, they are decided that they are not going to hold on. Number 2, we have the issue of even my mother's family. They are not even bothered about resolving the issue, because let me ask you, if my mother has come from a responsible family, how can your grandmother, daughter, mother be in mortuary to date, and you cannot call the children of the disease and say, what is happening? All of you come. We need to have a meeting with you. These people have meeting without me.
Reverend, I think we already we've spent over our time is up. I think we'll have to continue next week.
It's almost an hour.
I think we'll have to continue. We have to continue next week, and if possible, we will try to contact the other member of your family to also put in a word to it, so that we can have at least something from both sides. So, Reverend, thank you very much for joining us. Please, we'll be glad if you can join us next week again to continue this discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Coach Rashidat, I think you'll also be on the call next week. We would love to have you on this call next week. We're already right behind schedule. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, Joseph, thank you. And that wraps up today's episode of Mind Talk right here on Wash FM 94.9. Thank you for taking this moment to reflect, to feel, and to grow with us. Always remember, your thoughts matter, your story matters, and your mind deserves the care and space to heal. Until we meet again, keep the conversation going, keep your heart open, and never hesitate to talk about what's on your mind. Mind Talk returns next week, same time, same station. Until then, stay grounded, stay hopeful, and remember, a better life begins with a better mind. This is Dr. Slicks signing off. Keep it locked to your fun radio, health radio station, Wash FM 94.9.
Wash 94.9.